What up, y'all? I'm about to head out, but I thought I'd do a quick comparison of the BTC T37 and the S37 because I now have both in my possession. So as you can see, this is the BTC S37. It is a lot longer than the BTC T37, which you might be thinking of buying if you're watching this video. So as you can see, it is happily mining away. I've got 6 graphics cards on it with 2 with risers, and that's kind of the only way to make it work. With the BTC T37, you have to get risers in there because there's just not enough space for proper airflow in there. The one difference about the BTC S37 is that it is not powered by the 24 pin. There's no 24 pin slot, so somehow it's going to get powered by each individual PCIe slot cable, and so we'll see how that works out. I'm going to replace all of that with this, and hopefully it is possible to not use risers as well. So by the way, before I transfer over the BTC S37 over to my mining rig frame, I thought I'd just compare the two, as the S37 has like 3 more inches in length alongside the edge of it, and I thought you should take that into consideration if you're putting it into a frame. Make sure you get the measurements right. This is 22 inches in length, and this one is 19 inches in length. So, and by the way, if you wanted more details on the T37, I did an entire review dedicating it to the T37, but should this one that I got, this S37 that I got from eBay work, I do have some concerns because some of the PCIe inputs are damaged, and yeah, it doesn't look great, but I think that will work. It's just the surge protector, or whatever you call it, the plastic element here that's meant to protect the surge is damaged. But I mean, I think it should still work from what I can see. It just really it just doesn't look great, so I'm not going to be giving these guys a good review on eBay. To be fair, they did ship it like really quickly, so I'll give them that. And so if this works, I'm just gonna not bother writing a review. But yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm going straight to eBay and trying to get a refund, but let's hope it works anyway. Oh, and sorry, one more thing I forgot to talk about. Once again, like the T37, it runs on SODIMM RAM, and I've never seen Corsair Vengeance make their own laptop RAM, so this is the first time I'm seeing that. I didn't know that was actually a thing that they made, so we'll see if it works. Yeah, and what else can I say? And normally when you buy this, you will not receive a lithium battery of your own, because generally when they ship from China, they remove the lithium batteries because they're not allowed to travel overseas. So there's a good chance you won't receive one. This is the kind of one that you want to get. It's a 2032 CR2032 battery, and so that's what you should also buy if you're getting this motherboard. But otherwise, it's probably like one of the cheapest motherboards you could get on the market. So it's definitely a good buy at this point in time while motherboard prices are fluctuating. What up, y'all? So I never got to finish the very end of this video for a very long time. I was working, but now I have time, so I'm just going to quickly go over what I did to get my BTC S37 rig finally up and running. And there were some issues I encountered because I'm using a server power supply, and it's actually not about this, it's not about what kind of power supply you use. You're gonna have a problem with the 24 pin connector. You're gonna have some issues with compatibility because the S37 does not have the connection on the motherboard for the 24 pin. So what that causes on some power supplies is like, for instance, the Molex that would normally power the fans for this power supply didn't work, so I had to get a different system to power these fans. So what that means is if you do get the S37 model, make sure you get a dummy plug for the 24 pin, because otherwise, like, there could be issues. This is especially the case if you have an ATX power supply, because most of them will not start if there's no 24 pin connected, because that's the way ATX power supplies work. So, but I had a workaround in this case, so I'm going to use this motherboard anyways for a different project. So I ended up using it to power fans, and I might power even more fans with it. I think it's a pretty good idea. But I'm quite happy with the end result, because like, it does reduce temperatures greatly if you have fans. And as you can see, I have a small screen showing what kind of temperatures we get, and I'm happy with all of those. I think those are pretty decent. Like, you know, we have the RX 500 series and 5700, 6600s, and they're all at satisfactory temperatures. So my two takeaways for you, if you do want to get this motherboard, I do think it's the best out of all three. Just make sure you follow that advice regarding the power supplies. Make sure you get a dummy plug for ATX things, and make sure if you get a server power supply, make sure it's a good fit, because again, you're not going to be using the 24 pin. It's going to be powered through all of the PCIe cables, so just take that into consideration. And also definitely make sure you have fans to cool down your cards, because I still think the space could be improved even more. It's just, if it gets, like, if the motherboard, the next release of the motherboard is somehow like a 24-inch or a 25-inch, it's just going to look ridiculous. So but I do think, like, the more space, obviously the better for airflow. So again, if you have really big cards, like I have a 5700 XT at the very end, make sure it's not like the thicker ones. Make sure they are the thinner makes from third-party manufacturers, obviously. And if you have a big card, make sure you put it at the end, because that automatically sort of solves the airflow for that card, because it's going to blow out more air. That's going to go off because it's at the very end of the motherboard. So that's pretty much all I can say about this motherboard. It is definitely a great buy in this market, because it is not just a motherboard in itself. It is a motherboard and CPU combo, because, like, when you're making a rig, you need to get a CPU as well, and the CPU itself is not cheap either. So motherboard prices have gone up, CPU prices are still what they are. So you're gonna be paying a lot more, or you could get this combination to start your rig. And then on top of that, the RAM that you need to buy is pretty damn cheap. Like, you just spend 20 pounds and then you're done. You get, what, 8 gigs of RAM, and you're good to go. All right, so take care. See you in the next video.
Ta-ta for now.